The next part is forgive. Can you release this power over you? Can you let this negative hold go? Okay, so your boss comes in, starts ranting and raving, why isn't this done? Blah, 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 blah. What's going on? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, immediately you feel like this big, right? You start to self-doubt. You get angry, you get sad, you get depressed. Okay, so now you're aware of that. You've accepted that these emotions are coming up on you because this person, this potential boss, is not being responsible for what he's doing to his staff, what he's doing to you. Now, can you forgive it and release it? So, not judging yourself for having that reaction. Letting him and whatever or her issues are go. That does not impact your internal space. Once you've become aware of it, accepted it, and forgave it and let it go. Now, here's the big part. Like, here is the expensive enchilada. Now, we get to the part of understanding. So what is your plan? How do you attack this? How do you mitigate this? What's your action steps? Get strategic, for crying out loud. You got a brain, use it. This is the part that resides in the logical center. So, your boss is reacting this way. You can choose not to react back. You can choose to not accept that emotional dump. You can strategize your days. Can you take lunches away from your desk? Do you have other people that you can get on your corner? Can you create an emotional and energetic boundary? Can you start making plans of, not so great right now. I've got my eye on my next job. What can you do to legitimately, emotionally, energetically, or maybe even physically absent yourself from that situation in a good way? So how can you set it up that your sanity is going to be preserved? You've got vacation. Can you use it? Is there anybody else that you can be with? Are there energy techniques that you could use to not accept this dumping of crap on you? So sometimes people need help for this last understanding piece, sometimes not. My whole thing is I want to get this to where it's a DIY so that you have the potential to do this on your own. So if you're worried about not helping or not being not doing your part, so say this isn't your boss, say this is your parents, okay? Say your parents are really negative and they're just constantly just bringing you down, just sucking it all out of you, including the will to live sometimes. So you think, okay, well, I can't just absent myself from that situation. I can't just get a new parent. So what do you do? Okay, again, you're going to be strategizing. You're going to be using the logical center of your brain to come up with a solution. You don't stay in the energetic body. Once you've become aware of this, accepted, forgave, now you're into the mental side. What can you do? You have choices. What is it? So if it's, say, a parent that, again, you can't just go get a new parent if you don't like this one. What do you need to do to help that you no longer feel bad or guilty or complicit for the situation that they're in, right? So basically, if you think about it, whenever you're trying to help someone and, they've tripped, they've fallen, metaphorically, and you want to help them, you reach down your hand and you offer help, right? You are offering help. You can't make them take your hand. You don't want to grab them and pull them up because you don't know the situation that they're in. Did they break something? Should they not be moving? Do they need a minute? You don't know. So it's the same thing. You are offering help, but you can't make them take it. And if they choose not to take that help, that does not reflect on you at all. You were there, you offered. Um, so again, this is for people in your life that suck you dry, that are EEVPs, emotionally or energetic volatile people that you interact with. So those are your strategies. Those are how you deal with it. So breath. Topic number 2. When you are down on yourself, okay, this is total inside what's going on in this landscape. Now, what's interesting is, again, with most of my topics, they play together, right? So if you've got an EEVP that's just coming at you, you're probably going to internalize that and get down on yourself. So again, these techniques work for that stage, or if this just crops up on its own. So the same thing applies. We still have avoidance strategies. We still have coping mechanisms. Again, binge watching Netflix, hitting the wine bottle, way too much chocolate, hermiting, trying to just shut our minds to other responsibilities or other things in our life and just really focus on something that we can control. So that's called the blinker effect. So the other thing we can do is refuse to be alone or compete for world's busiest person. That is a really common avoidance technique and coping mechanism these days. So if you notice that you're actually not giving yourself any time to think, and you're going from here to here to here to here to, you need to do this and you need to do this and oh, you got to do this and you have to be here and you need to talk to this person, and you just keep living that way, that, my friend, is a coping mechanism. Become aware of it. It should be on your list of what you do to avoid something. So you've got that awareness. Now, what's going on? What's the acceptance? Can you accept that you are down on yourself? Or are you going to deny it? I talk to lots of people, they go through the first coaching session with me. And so their self-love game is really low. And they think that they need to be a perfectionist. And they think that that's the only way that they'll be accepted. That's the only way that they'll get loved. Hey, I was there. But then the next step is, can you accept that? Or say, oh, well, actually my perfectionism really works for me. It helps me get stuff done. Okay, that's denial. That's your choice. I'm offering help. I can't make you take it. So if you're down on yourself, that's your coping mechanisms, you're aware of your strategies, you've accepted the fact that you're down on yourself, that you feel fat, that you feel stupid, that you'll never be loved, that you can't do something, whatever that is. Okay, can you forgive it? Can you forgive yourself for being in that space? Or are you just going to get angry? Okay, that typically, again, angry and being angry at myself is one of my coping mechanisms that's really handy. So I'll get angry. I should know better. What the fuck? I've been a coach for a really long time now. I'm still doing this? Why? That can't be right. Okay, that's not forgiving. It's not. Can you forgive that you're in this space? Can you let it go? It's a choice. Can you, can't you? And the reason why I keep harping on about this forgiveness thing is the last time I taught up about 10,000 client sessions. 10,000 client sessions. And what I've noticed is, that's how I came up with the different body centers. Whenever something is going on in one, it will, I promise you, bleed through to the rest. So something that starts as an emotional issue or a spiritual issue or a mental issue will go to the rest of them and will show up as a physical problem. I guarantee it. I absolutely promise you that will happen if it's carried long enough. So one of the ways, and this is a gem. Do you realize how much I charge for this information right here? One of the ways to stay healthy is to forgive. As angry as that makes you right now, that's really good indicator that you need to do this. Because when you forgive, you let that go. You let the trauma go. You are not holding on to that negative energy, that negative emotion, that negative memory. You have let that go. And in most indigenous cultures, there's actually a process to do that. It's just once we get into Western medicine that we no longer acknowledge the truth of holding back. Fascinating. Anyway, moving on.